Jeff, there's Peggy. Jeff, thank you so much for all you do. This Jeff came all the way from South Carolina to come here. He helps us out at Southwood Pictures quite a bit. Dale, I just wanted to mention before I turn the mic over, if there's any questions from any of you, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the district president that was telling Lance about his assignment was David Rosen. Yeah. So that was kind of. So I think there's a second mic. If I'll
he played the lead.
I'll open here. If there's any questions, we'll pass you the mic that you can ask our wonderful cast here. Anything about the movie?
While you guys are thinking about questions, I just want to thank everybody for being here and my family. Oh, friends. It means a lot to me. I didn't think I was going to get emotional or anything, you know. It's a year removed, you know. But watching it, it's just like, wow, like, God is so good.
That's right.
Just like the movie, in all your lives, you never know what tomorrow brings, you know. You love the Lord, and He makes beautiful things happen.
That's right.
So it's beautiful to see you guys here today. Thank you for being here.
When are you starting seminary?
What was that?
When are you starting seminary?
Bless.
Dale Norman Green, on the other hand, boy, kind of a shady guy there.
I hope that's not the beginning of typecasting. I just want to say that God has been good to me, and I've had a dream for a long time, many decades, older than you the audience is, but I just thank God that He has taught me to use the gifts that He has given me to turn it around to be a gift for Him. And He has taught me to write for the right reasons, not for man's approval, and not for fame or fortune, but to tell my Lord, thank you, and I love Him. And thank you all for coming. This means so much to me, to all of us. Without anything else, here's Miss Peggy.
Well, I just would like to say thank you to Beth and Steven Zambo for Salty Earth Productions.
Yeah.
All the movies, all that they've done, all the pictures are to exalt and glorify the Lord and give hope and inspiration. And don't we need it now in the earth? So we have to pray for them. He's very prolific. He's writing a new movie, and each year or twice a year he's going to do a new one. And Jeff and I had the opportunity, thank you Deborah Watson for doing the Branson Film Festival, and that's how all of us got to meet Steven Zambo. And we were fortunate enough to watch some of his other movies, and they just really blessed us. And we said, we'll go to Wisconsin and do a movie. So we were in Wisconsin, and it's a wonderful family. I mean, I was telling Helena every time, that's Dale. Joanna's Dale, that's my good friend. That's my other friend, Doris. And it was a real family affair. So we're so happy that he came to Branson, Missouri, because I want him to meet all the talent that we have here so that he can bring more of us into his beautiful films, to produce and to do different characters. So God bless you
Alina,
all.
we'll send you a copy of the movie so you can watch it in peace next time.
Yes, I kept whispering over. So thank you all. I said we have a Branson film community. We have people that are talented, that love God, and you showed up. So thank you all for showing up.
And I know there might be a few questions, but one thing I just really, if you could help us with one thing just today, because of this screening, it was going to be in November, but because this was actually our first real public screening, One by One went live on IMDb that you can vote for it. Okay, now, it's still because it's brand new, sometimes it's a little hard to find, so if you just put in one by one, and it doesn't look like our movie, there's no picture yet or anything, but then if you put in my name, Steven F. Zambo, or Lance's name, or Peggy's name, their credits come up, it'll come up in their list of credits, and you can get there. But if you could vote for it, if you're not already on IMDb, you just register, it's no real big deal, and you can vote for your favorite movies, but and you can write a little thing, it's like a 1 to 10 scale, and then you could also write a little review if you'd like, and that, believe it or not, especially with independent films, it helps tremendously to kind of create that movement. The distributors and people really look at to see how those things are doing. So if you could sign up, if you could go to IMDb and give us a vote, preferably on the higher end, that would be wonderful. Peggy and Jeff, aren't they like the perfect neighbors across the fence? I feel like.
My husband said he played the curmudgeon, and Steve said, "You're never that way." And I said, occasionally. But he can play a mean guy. I told Steve we recently did a project in Texas, and it's another version of Esther, another take on Esther, and he played Haman, and he was so mean and evil. So maybe we can watch for him in one of the next movies. He'll play the villain.
What's that guy's name over there? Lance. Lance, I thought it was.
I got a favor for you. If you can get closer so I can videotape all of it.
Okay, I was just worried about that.
There you go.
Do we want to have one in the audience that I'll go around, ask questions?
What's next step? And what can we do to support this going forward?
Well, thank you so very much. One, really, sign up on Salt Earth Pictures Facebook page because thank you. We'll post things as to, there's gonna be screenings, or this is coming up, and if you could like and share. I do this thing every other week called Coffee with Steve, which is sort of interviewing different cast members and people like that, so if you share that, but really that IMDb post will let you know as it starts to work through distribution, and if it goes on Amazon, the same thing, if you can kind of vote for it there and share it with people. Those things are really huge. Really much like, and I think we have a great example right now, politics aside, the Reagan movie was kind of distributed this way. They had, of course, a bigger budget than we did, both for production and for, they call it prints and advertising. But yet, after the first weekend, it was literally just word of mouth. People telling people to go see the movie, go online and find it. So it'll probably be one of the ways we'd like to roll it out is initially through presentations like this, hosted by churches, by groups. That'll probably be between now and March, April, May, June, but sometimes like in February, we'll have DVDs and Blu-rays in December. And then you'll probably start to see the platforms like Amazon, Tubi, all of those, January, February, March. So that'll be kind of the progression of the way it'll be distributed over the next several months and years.
How soon will we be seeing Lance again in another movie?
Oh my goodness.
You gotta pay her for that one. I'll be happy, and that's, I'm happy with that. So, no rush in.
I think we don't know if it'll be the next, but we're hoping it will be if things go well. I know there's a lot of Kansas City fans here, but our next movie will probably be about a man named Don Beebe, who was a football player back in the era of Brett Favre, with first Buffalo and then Green Bay. Went to 6 Super Bowls, but he never should have. A wonderful Christian guy, was small but very fast, but didn't take a snap of football until his 5th year in college, and made it to the NFL. If you remember the Leon Lett play, that's what one of the things Don is known for. He caught up to Leon Lett on the 1-inch yard in a Super Bowl and took the ball away from him to stop him from scoring a Super Bowl.
The Ice Bowl, I remember it well.
So there's a lot of, but that probably will be our next movie. It's really a fascinating story, but we're always looking for other scripts. And we met a few budding actors here also. And like I said, Branson is such a talented town. We would love to work more and more closely with you. Any questions for? Lance, oh, yep,
Peggy.
Peggy.
So how did you get into character? What did you need to do to get into character?
A dangerous question.
Thank you, Steve. I need a director, see? To get a character, I watched Dave for a long time because he's a preacher still in Florida. So I watched a lot of his sermons, and then the struggle for about a month was like, do I impersonate the guy, or do I just have the essence of the guy? You know? So I finally landed on the essence. You know what I mean? And what's cool is I didn't feel like it's too far removed. I just had to focus on the Lord. Lord, be my strength, because I know I can do a decent job without him for sure, just by talent alone, you know. So to get in character, watched Dave a lot, and went to Arizona for a couple weeks and trained with some acting coaches and stuff like that. Cause nice.
So has he seen the film?
Yes, he has. We showed him a sneak peek of it through Vimeo. He and his wife were watching it at his house. Beth and I were watching it at our house, and we were like, okay, this is about where they are right now. So I text him, and he said, yeah, we're about there, a little bit behind you. And then the movie ended, and I didn't hear from him. Like, oh no! He said, no, they were talking first because they went, and then they came online and they were ecstatic about it and really pray that they saw very rough cuts. So there was a few things that were missing and different, but very happy with both Lance's performance. And the first person I cast is I sat down with my wife Beth and Dave and his wife Sue at a barbecue place in Florida, and after about 3 minutes, I said, Heather Ricks is Sue Rosenau. So if you guys agree to do the movie, I already got Sue cast, because she really was a lot like her. I can tell him the Dave Rosenau story about when I told him that you were cast as him.
So this is like one of my favorite stories because he said, oh, we cast Sue, and the family's like, she's so beautiful, perfect, we're so excited, who's playing you, Mom? And then Dave's like, who's playing me? Oh, we haven't found the guy yet, we don't know yet. And then anyway, he finally says, we found the guy. And then he looks into who I am, he's like, the dude's a clown. Seriously? Because I used to be a circus clown, so that's the first thing he saw. So he's like, you couldn't get Matt Damon or something? You got a clown to do the thing? But then now it's like my favorite story of the thing, Because the reason it's my favorite is because if at the end he was like, see, you picked the clown, look what happened. You know what I mean? But at the end of it, he saw some scenes and he said, before I was nervous about people seeing it. Now I want to see how many people could see it. And I was like, all right, it worked out, Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the film?
Ooh, that's tough, right? Man, that's a tough one. I'll tell you one thing that I enjoyed is because I have a heart for kids, so I really liked having a family. And like when they would say these big words, and like I would start laughing and stuff. But I mean, honestly, there wasn't a scene I didn't like, because all of it was challenging, and also that all the actors were so good. It made it, it felt natural. It didn't feel. I hope it came across like that. I'd love to hear from you guys, but it didn't feel like I'm acting now and you're acting and we're both acting. It just felt like we're communicating. It felt really real. Thanks for the talent.
I think for me it was a late afternoon on a Sunday afternoon, and we did both of those scenes with the picnic and then them on the pier at a beautiful, it's called Fisher Lake in Florence, Wisconsin. It was getting colder and darker and colder and darker. We were getting, but yet there was something about knowing that was the pivotal. Movies are broken down into like 10-minute sections, and every 10 minutes asks a different question. And to know that this was the midpoint and the shift of the movie where just things would brighten up and a life would change, and we were just sitting there, and it was like, this is going to be really a beautiful moment in the movie. And I think it really did play it well too. So I think that's one of my favorite spots. But all of it is very good. How about the people out by the fence? Was that your favorite?
It's always hard. We didn't see the film, and I know from my years of doing this, I don't like that. I like to watch it alone, whatever I did, and but then the Lord was really ministering about, there's a part, Peggy Sawyer in 42nd Street, and she says when you put all those parts together, it's something alive and beautiful that reaches out to 1,000 people we've never seen before. So we're all a part of that piece, of a beautiful piece that will touch, hopefully, millions of lives. But you know what so touched me that, oh my goodness, I probably cried my makeup. Joanne, the woman who played Joanne, is Dale from California, and we got to be good friends. And she said God called her to be an actress and do Christian movies. She was in California, and just God called her to do it, to become an actress. So she started a little later, and to do Christian films that touch lives. And boy, that really, she was marvelous. She really touched me.
Any iCarly fans out here? Do you remember when the tall guy was put in a museum and he had an artwork, and then the curator came in and he kissed her? That was Dale. With that scene of iCarly.
Oh, okay. Have it one of your moments. I know the other moment. No. Yes, the drug king.
So Dale, tell us about that was a late night, wasn't it? That we were.
It was a late night, and I don't have a real touching anecdote about a scumbag like Slicer. But I was nervous, and Beth prayed with me the night before we had to film, because it was all new territory for me. But I saw my character as someone who's been kind of, he feels invincible, fearless, and he was sort of a mixture between Robert De Niro, Robert Patrick, and the Joker. That's what I came up with. But it was fun to be off and doing something unusual. And I don't know what else to say. Just don't make me mad, I might come get you.
My husband's a pastor, and so the scene with I don't know what you call them.
Curmudgeons.
Yeah. The elders is what we have.
Snickerdoodle.
I mean, but just, I was just having trouble keeping. She couldn't quit laughing. Yeah.
You've lived it.
Sometimes it's not such a good ending. But how did you find all that? I mean, how'd you know?
Well, some of those were definitely experiences that Dave had, but I've been on a lot of church councils and meetings throughout years, and you go, you know what? Yeah, we could, the snickerdoodle thing, that was whole made up, but I was trying to figure out a way to get out of that. And of course, what they would do is they would return to the subject, but return to it way off. Instead of snickerdoodles, they're talking about, what is it, a dog, right?
But and also the guys who were sitting there when you first came in, the old guys just sitting there griping about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is so true. Oh
See,
my gosh,
Pastor really, they're what he calls it, the wall of curmudgeons when he first got there. And he did, like, the second or third week, he took all the chairs away so they couldn't sit there. Well, one more, another.
I just had a question. The accident that you showed at the beginning, I couldn't tell if it was the drug dealers that caused that or if it was really just an accident.
That's thank you. It was actually just an accident that someone came around the corner and hit him. Actually, it was a little bit. In reality, it was a little bit longer than that. But we had to cut our make sure that we didn't give it away. Where actually he was hit again then from a car coming from the side of him. But we just wanted to keep it short as we did.
Hitting you with my car.
Yes, sir.
He was driving it.
You were driving?
That was the fun part, going through the glass. It showed her.
Yeah,
But it was fun.